to the BAM Express. This is where we train children up to learn more about Jesus. This is our series about the fruit of the Spirit. In Galatians 5:22 and 23 is read, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such there is no law." What would this world look like if all the children could follow in the fruits of the Spirit? What would it look like if the adults followed in the fruits of the Spirit? This world would be amazing. So let's climb aboard. And as we climb aboard, let's make sure we're ready, because the Fruit of the Spirit song is up and ready for you. So get involved, join in, and I'll see you there.
Is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and gentleness, and self-control.
Welcome to the BAM Express, and as you know, I am Conductor Gina, and today we're on our last fruit of the Spirit, which is self-control. One of the hardest fruits of the Spirit for us to understand, but we're going to use this apple. Okay, apples can be hard or they can be soft. They can be sweet or they can be sour. With God on your side, you're going to have a soft apple and you're going to have a sweet taste. If you don't have God on your side, it's going to be hard and it's going to be sour. In the scripture, James 1:19 says, "My dear brothers, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry." Self-control. You have to be able to control how you react to the different things that come to you at life. But to explain it more, we're going to head on over to the reading car, because I hear Grandma Andrea has an awesome story for us today.
Welcome to the reading car. I'm Grandma Andrea, and today the fruit of the Spirit we're talking about is self-control. And I'm reading you a story about Lot's wife. God had told Abraham that he was going to destroy two wicked cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. Abraham's nephew Lot lived in Sodom with his family. So Abraham begged the Lord to send angels to them to warn them. The angels went to Lot and they told him, "You need to talk to your son-in-laws, daughters, and your wife, and you need to leave the city, and you need to leave the city now." So Lot went and talked to his son-in-laws, and they laughed at him. Then he went back, and the angels said, "You take your daughters and your wife, and you leave the city now." And Lot kind of lingered, and the angels grabbed his hand, and the hand of his daughters, and the hand of his wife, and they took them out of the city. And when they were leaving the city, they gave them a warning. The warning was from God. Do not look back. And Lot's wife looked back. She disobeyed. She had no self-control. And she was turned into a pillar of salt.
The fruit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and gentleness, and self-control.
Wasn't that a great story from Grandma Andrea today? Lot's wife. She had no self-control, and look what happened to her. A pillar of salt. Well, we're going to get off here at Creation Station, and just so you know, there's a surprise waiting for you at this. Hey kids, welcome to Creation Station. I'm stepping in for Miss Stephanie today, and we're going to make a self-controller, because the big fruit of the Spirit we need to work on today is self-control. So, what you're going to need is a piece of black paper, or it could be any color you want, but I like black because it doesn't show dirt as well. And you're going to make some we're going to fold it up, and we're going to make some cuts just like Miss Stephanie did on the memory box the other day. And then we're going to fold it up and make it into the control box. And let's just tuck it in. And I don't use as much tape as Miss Steph does. I use minimal tape. You just take a piece of tape, tape it up, tape doesn't want to stand. Okay, and what's one of the things on the control box is your little buttons. And on my self-controller, I labeled it self-controller. You can use some other pieces of paper. And on the front of it, you're going to put stop. You're going to put pause, power, and guide on your labels. And I just found some little stickers. We put them on there. Stop, because we want to be able to stop before we react. Self-control. When everything is going crazy, before you react and say something you might regret, you're going to hit that stop button. And then you're going to go to the pause button and think about it and go to God and ask Him, what should I be doing in this situation? Before we react and do something that we're going to have to be sorry for later. And power, we get power when we ask God to help us. And then we hit the guide button whenever we need assistance. God has promised to fill us with His Spirit, and His Spirit is going to guide us on the path that we need to walk. And that's how we're going to do with the self-control. And this is the easiest way to get self-control, is to stop before we react. Pause. Okay, we want to get that power, and then we want to get a guide. And God is our guide. God is my guide. And one of the verses is, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. And that's in James 1:19.
The fruit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and gentleness, and self-control.
Well, wasn't that a surprise? You got me. I know. So, we've got our self-control controller, and we're going to head on over to the dining car to see what Miss Amanda has made for us today.
Hello, I'm Miss Amanda, and I am just finishing up the fruit salad for our snack today. And if you see in front of me, all the ingredients here are for our fruit salad, and they represent every fruit that we have talked about when we talk about the fruit of the Spirit. And so I wanted to show you how I am using these to make my fruit salad today. So we have our strawberries, and we're going to put those in. And if you notice, they all work together. And then we have our bananas, our oranges, sprinkle those in, our grapes, kindness, raspberries, be gentle with those, and we have our apples. And we're putting apples in today to represent our self-control. So when we have self-control, just like an apple, without God, just like an apple, sometimes an apple is really sour or really tough to eat. But sometimes there's just that perfect apple that is not too sweet, not too sour, and it's just right, and we're able to have self-control in that same way that an apple is just right. And without God, we can't have self-control. So we just mix all of this up, and self-control is just as important as all of the rest of the fruit in this fruit salad here. So now that you know how to make a fruit salad, go ahead and find all the ingredients and put them all together and explain to whoever it is you serve it to what they all represent and why you have those fruits in your salad.
The fruit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control.
Fruit salad. What an amazing fruit salad that was. We had everything that we've been talking about with the fruits of the Spirit. And she even threw in some sweet and sour apples, because she understands self-control isn't easy. But with God, it is possible. Let's recap what we learned about self-control today. We learned in the reading car that Lot's wife didn't have self-control. Wonder what she would do if she could look back and try over again. She would probably think twice about turning around and looking back at what was happening to the town and city behind her. The one thing that I want you to remember out of that story is we don't want to be a pillar of salt. We want to listen. And if God gives us direction and someone is telling us what to do, we need to listen. We need to stop. We need to listen to what they're saying and then continue forward on the journey. And if you think it's wrong and you're not sure if you should be doing it, you can quickly, while you're standing there, say a quick prayer to God. God, help me through this situation. And you want to know something? He's faithful and He's going to be there for you. And He's going to help you make the right decision. But once again, you have to have Jesus in your heart so He can help you through that situation. Well, we're going to wrap up the fruits of the Spirit today. And I want to remind you of one thing. We have fresh fruit. In the salad we ate today, that was really good fruit. Or you can have fake fruit. And who wants to eat fake fruit? Fake fruit, it might look good, but it's not going to taste good. The last thing I want to say today before we depart the train is my hope is that you will find God in everything that you do. And that you will see that He is the way, the truth, and the light. And in order to get to heaven, you need to have Him with you on your journey. And I will tell you from personal experience as a conductor of the BAM Express that if I didn't have God with me, I'd have nothing. So as we leave and depart the train today, I just ask you to remember that God can be with you with a simple prayer. Just asking Him to join you and come into your heart and then live for Him. That's all He's asking for you to do. And so I ask you to please take that time, whether you're a parent, a grandparent, or a child, He wants to live with you. So, as we depart today, I want you to remember the fruits of the Spirit. We have love, we have joy, we have peace, we have patience, we have kindness, we have goodness, we have faithfulness, we have gentleness, and we have self-control. But we only have that with Jesus in our heart. Thank you for joining us with this series of Fruit of the Spirit. And if you want to have that journey with Jesus, you can say that simple prayer, reach out to us and let us know. Because we would love to continue training you up in the Word. Because with the Word in your heart and with God with you, anything is possible. Thanks for joining us. See you again soon.
Is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and gentleness, and self-control.